If you've paid attention to PC news lately, you may have noticed something unusual. Major US computer manufacturers, Dell, HP, Lenovo, and even custom PC brands, are quietly rolling out something called BIOS updates. These updates aren't flashy. They aren't marketed like new hardware or major Windows upgrades. But they're becoming one of the biggest behind-the-scenes improvements in modern computing. They're designed to do one thing: dramatically improve power efficiency at the firmware level. What's fascinating is that this trend didn't start because consumers were asking for it. It came from a growing mix of rising energy costs in the US, tighter regulations, new efficiency standards, and an industry-wide push towards sustainability. BIOS updates are essentially the PC industry's way of adapting to a world where energy matters more than ever. So what exactly is an BIOS update? At its core, it's a firmware revision that changes how a computer manages power at the hardware level. These updates can adjust CPU performance curves, fan behavior, idle state tuning, voltage distribution, thermal thresholds, and component sleep cycles. Instead of relying on the operating system to manage efficiency, these updates optimize the system before the OS even loads. That means better stability, lower heat production, less noise, and notably, lower energy consumption. To understand why PC makers are investing so heavily in these updates, you have to look at the pressure coming from US regulators. States like California have introduced strict energy usage guidelines for desktops, all-in-ones, and workstations. These rules set limits on how much power a computer can draw in idle mode, sleep mode, or light load operation. To meet these standards without redesigning hardware, PC companies are turning to firmware-level adjustments. It's cheaper, faster, and far more flexible than recalling existing systems or rewriting entire hardware lineups. But there's another driving force: business customers. Large corporations, government agencies, hospitals, and schools now prioritize energy efficiency across tens of thousands of devices. Even small gains per machine translate into massive savings annually. PC makers realize that offering BIOS modes gives them a competitive advantage when bidding for major contracts. Companies want machines that run cooler, quieter, and cheaper, especially when employees are returning to office environments with older infrastructure and rising utility bills. One of the biggest changes inside these BIOS updates is smarter CPU power scaling. Traditionally, processors ramp up and down in speed based on workloads, but older BIOS settings often kept CPUs running at higher base power levels than necessary. BIOS updates introduce new efficiency states, allowing CPUs to drop into deeper sleep modes or use lower voltage ranges without impacting performance for everyday tasks. For office work, video calls, browsing, and productivity apps, users never notice the difference, yet power consumption drops significantly. Another feature appearing in these updates is fan curve optimization. Fans are one of the most power-hungry moving parts in a PC. Old firmware often ran fans aggressively, even during light workloads. BIOS revisions refine thermal response, so fans spin only when needed and at lower speeds. This not only saves energy, it makes PCs quieter, extending fan lifespan and reducing dust heat. These updates are also reworking how PCs handle GPU and integrated graphics switching. In many systems, the GPU stayed active longer than necessary, drawing more power than required. BIOS updates ensure the system switches back to integrated graphics faster when no heavy GPU tasks are detected. This is especially impactful for laptops and compact desktops, where GPU idle power draws can significantly impact energy usage and heat output. One of the most underrated improvements in these updates is memory and storage power management. Many PCs kept RAM modules and SSD controllers active at full speed even when idle. EcoBIOS settings introduce deeper memory idle states and smarter SSD sleep cycles. These small adjustments add up over hours, days, and months of operation. Another reason these updates are becoming widespread is because of remote fleet management. Many businesses now use cloud-based tools to control BIOS settings across thousands of PCs. With EcoBIOS profiles, IT departments can push energy-efficient configurations company-wide without touching every machine. This aligns perfectly with modern workplace trends, where remote maintenance is more important than ever. But the movement isn't just coming from businesses. Consumers are becoming more aware of energy efficiency too. Home electricity bills in many parts of the US have risen sharply, and people who work from home often run their computers 8 to 12 hours a day. PC makers saw an opportunity to market sustainability as a practical benefit. EcoBIOS updates are now promoted as providing longer component life, quieter operation, and reduced heat. All things consumers value. Laptop makers in particular are using these updates to improve battery longevity. By lowering default voltage levels, reducing background power usage, and decreasing idle drain, EcoBIOS profiles can extend battery life without altering performance for typical tasks. This has become a major selling point in the US market, where buyers increasingly expect all-day battery performance. Another layer to this story involves future-proofing. EcoBIOS updates position PC makers for the coming transition to stricter national energy standards and corporate sustainability requirements. By adopting these firmware improvements early, manufacturers avoid scrambling later when new rules are introduced. It also gives them valuable data they can use to design more efficient hardware in the future based on real-world power behavior. These updates even impact thermals and longevity. Lower power consumption means lower heat output, and lower heat output means longer-lasting components. Hard drives, SSDs, VRMs, and even screen backlights benefit from cooler operation. PC makers know this translates to fewer warranty claims and longer replacement cycles, both significant financial wins. In many ways, the EcoBIOS movement represents a shift in how PCs are being engineered. Instead of chasing raw performance at all times, the industry is now tuning systems to balance power, performance, and longevity far more intelligently. And since these changes happen at the firmware level, users get the benefit instantly. No hardware upgrades, no expensive new components, and no complicated settings to tweak. So today's EcoBIOS updates are more than just a new feature. They're the beginning of a broader transformation in American computing. One where PCs run cleaner, cooler, smarter, and more efficiently. One where energy savings are built in by design, not added as an afterthought. And one where firmware, usually overlooked, becomes a central part of the push toward a more sustainable tech ecosystem. As power standards continue to tighten and energy costs fluctuate, expect EcoBIOS updates to become a standard feature on every new machine